this is the 2020 Trek Excalibur 8. It's a hardtail mountain bike from Trek. Hardtail meaning, there's no suspension in the back. It's just, completely rigid in the back. But there is 100 millimeters of travel up front, and that's with a RockShox fork. So up front, I haven't made too many upgrades. The only upgrade that I did make is converting it to tubeless. So this bike does come as tubeless ready, meaning that the rims are tubeless ready. They don't have any holes in them. You don't need to add any rim tape, but you do need, well, in my experience, I did need to get new tires and of course add sealant. I have the XR3 team issue tires, and this bike is a 29er in size large. So these tires I think are 2.2 inches in width and of course 29 inches in diameter. Moving on to the disc brakes. I haven't updated these either. I know that these are Shimano disc brakes. I'm actually not sure if they're 2-piston or 4-piston. I would assume they're 2-piston. So I haven't had any complaints with these at all. They stop pretty good for my purposes. Moving on to the fork. Like I said, this is a RockShox fork, 100 millimeters of travel. It does have a lockout switch here that I use pretty often. Moving up to the handlebar area. A couple upgrades I did here. One was just adding this GPS computer. I think this is a Garmin 530. So it's a pretty good Garmin. Pretty much just use it to track miles, speed, elevation, use the GPS feature, things like that. I did upgrade the grips. These are the Ergon, I believe they're the Ergon GE1 grips. So they're slightly contoured from the outside, supposedly to give you more or less wrist pain, but I do actually have sometimes a little bit of numbness in my pinky finger. So I don't know if that's because of like my positioning or the grips themselves, but I do like the feel of the grips and the color. I did upgrade the seat that came with this bike. This is a WTB Volt saddle. I think it's in like their entry level configuration. It's either like steel or chromoly rails. So this seat is pretty comfortable. I don't have any issues now with this seat. Under this seat, I just added a micro seat bag from Bontrager. It holds everything I need in there, like multi-tools, tire levers, patch kits, things like that. Normally, if I'm riding this city, I do have a tail light on here. This is the Siglo Light Hotshot 350. So this is actually one of the brightest taillights that I saw on the market. It's 350 lumens. It has 2 LEDs with focused beams. So this is extremely bright. I just added on this Bontrager bottle cage in matte black to match the matte black paint of the bike itself. And then I have this this Blackburn frame bag. I can't remember the exact name of this bag, but it's pretty good, so I can put in like my phone or food or anything like that. I do have a pump mounted to the frame. So this is the Crank Brothers Click high volume pump. So there's like a little hose inside that connects to your like Trader or Presta valve. It's compatible with both. And you can pump up your tires. Moving on to the drivetrain, I have made a couple of updates here. So stock from Trek, this Trek Excalibur 8, released in 2020, comes with SRAM SX Eagle, which is a 1x12 drivetrain. From the front, I think it's 34 tooth, it might be 32, I think it's 34 tooth. And of course in the back it goes all the way from 10 tooth all the way to 50. So when I first got the bike, I didn't have many complaints about the SX drivetrain. But, over time it just wasn't shifting quite as quickly as I wanted it to. So I upgraded the rear derailleur, the shifter. I went ahead and updated the housing and cable as well as the chain. So the rear derailleur, the chain, and the shifter are actually SRAM GX Eagle, which is 2 levels above SX. I saw the GX Eagle rear derailleur. I haven't had any complaints about the shifting at all. It's pretty flawless. So like I said, the rear derailleur is SRAM GX. The chain is GX Eagle. The rear cassette is still SX. The crank arms is still SX. And like I said, the shifter I also upgraded to SRAM GX Eagle. I think this bike is listed on the website is maybe, I think, 29 pounds. That's not tubeless. So tubeless, it might be, you know, like possibly 28 pounds. But you know, I have all this extra stuff like the light, the seat bag, the frame bag. So that adds a couple grams back. I think the final update or upgrade I made to the bike are the pedals. So I believe these are the Crank Brothers Egg Beater 3 pedals. I've riding clipless a long time and I've come to like Crank Brothers pedals. So they haven't given me any issues yet. You know, pretty lightweight, don't get stuck up with mud. So I really like these pedals. Going forward, in terms of updates I might make in the future, I think the only upgrade I might make is you know, adding a dropper post. I definitely want to get into like XC riding. You know, that's the closest style of riding that I currently do, considering there's not that many, you know, enduro or downhill trails near me. So, you know, I mainly do like XC riding, things like that. So if I do start getting into XC racing, I would definitely add a dropper post just to make this bike a little bit more capable when going downhill. That pretty much wraps up the video. If you guys have any questions about the Trek Excalibur 8 or any of the components I listed, just leave a comment down below. I hope to make more videos soon about, you know, actually riding the bike. Maybe I'll do a video about what's in my seat bag, how I wash my bike, how I maintain it, things like that. So stay tuned for more videos coming soon.
Expect like you expect Jesus to come back. Expect him coming.